This collaboration and the need for us to meet as we do is clearly based on the recognition that we do need to take action, all of us, and to take bold action for that matter, to confront and address all these challenges that places our country on a trajectory that would lead to growth and addressing the challenges that we have. And this collaboration is built on a shared vision for our country that we all have, a country that we all love, a country that we would like to see as a thriving democracy in which the rule of law is sacrosanct, a country which will have a dynamic and fast-growing economy, and which is based on a society in which no one is left behind. We highly commend, and I'd like to really welcome the recent pledge by a number of you as CEOs, business leaders, and your various businesses, well over 100 leading companies to contribute to building the economy of our country. Now, this, in my view, is an outstanding statement, a statement that needs to be appreciated, but a statement that also needs to be amplified and backed up by clear actions on all our parts. We welcome the emphasis on strategic partnerships and focused interventions, which aligns with the approach on which we have collectively embarked upon. In our last meeting, we agreed that we would meet on a regular basis to take stock of the progress that is being made and to address challenges as they arise. In that regard, we agreed that there would be a number of processes that will unfold that would always culminate every 6 weeks with a meeting with myself. And this is one of those meetings. Since then, we have made significant progress on the agenda that we set out to address together. It is now a year since government launched the Energy Action Plan to end load shedding and to achieve energy security. Yesterday, we released a comprehensive progress report outlining the actions we have taken since to improve the performance of Eskom's existing power stations and to add new generation capacity from multiple sources. This report, which was presented yesterday, reveals that we have followed through on many of our commitments, and there's been a great deal of work that has been done, from removing the licensing threshold to enable private investment, to tackling criminal activity within Eskom, and this is an ongoing process, to putting in place very effective tax incentives for households and businesses to invest in rooftop solar. While this progress is encouraging, the energy shortfall remains the single biggest constraint on economic growth. And it is a matter that we will address in the course of this morning as well. We need to accelerate and expand our efforts even further based on the progress that we are already recording, not only to overcome the immediate crisis, but to fundamentally reform our energy sector and ensure that we never face such a shortfall again. In the logistics sector, we have now formally established the National Logistics Crisis Committee, which we spoke about when we last met. Crisis committee that has a number of work streams that are already up and running to enable a more coherent response to the challenges of our logistics sector. A new board has also been appointed to strengthen oversight at Transnet and to continue the good work of the previous board in reversing the legacy of state capture and placing the entity on a sustainable footing. An immediate task is to finalize the freight logistics roadmap, which will outline the short and the long-term actions needed to be taken to improve the efficiency and competitiveness of the logistics system. I am pleased that there has been continued engagement between the National Prosecuting Agency, law enforcement agencies, and business to identify areas in which joint work can be undertaken to strengthen the fight against corruption and crime. We welcome the decision to establish Business Against Crime as a standalone entity with dedicated resources that will enable us to coordinate the support of business in this area. As criminal activity becomes increasingly sophisticated and organized, we must ensure that our law enforcement and prosecuting agencies are even stronger, are even more effective, and are even more advanced. At the same time, we need to safeguard their ability to do their work so that they should not have a sense that there is untoward interference of any kind, as inherently they have to do their work on an independent basis. I look forward to receiving further updates on the work that is underway in each of these areas and to identify the critical next steps that need to be taken so that we can consolidate our efforts and move with greater determination forward. Without minimizing the steep challenges that we face, we must respond to the relentless negativity and the negative narrative about our country, which has become almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. We must be realistic about the depth of these challenges that we face, while recognizing the extraordinary potential of our country and our economy. We should also recognize the progress that is being made. This tremendous progress is being made, and this progress is largely due to having agreed that we will work together. And that in itself gives rise to a great strength that we have always had as a country, being able to work together across different sectors. We have achieved a great deal, and even now, I am certain that we will achieve a great deal. But most importantly, we must focus on the practical actions that we need to take right now to harness that potential. So I'd like us to continue then engaging with openness, with great transparency and robustness, so that we are able to talk to each other in a very honest manner and be able to nudge each other forward in terms of doing what needs to be done to reposition our country. I think we're in a good space in terms of having arrived at the realization that it is only when we work together that we can make progress.